Hello, my name is Matthew Glover, and this is going to be my EFD 552 diversity plan. My plan is coming from Piedmont Middle School. The demographics, Piedmont Middle School is located in Piedmont, Alabama. It's in Calhoun County, however, we're still a city system. 6th through 8th grade, set in a small rural town. The enrollment is 265 students. Average class size is around 24 students. Most class times last 54 minutes, and our school has approximately around 68% receiving free or reduced lunch. Piedmont has 5,000 residents and is located in northeast Alabama. The number of residents who live below the poverty line is more than 100%, 120% of the national average. Many of our students lack experiences outside our small town. Many have never even been to a moderate restaurant or gone to a movie. Our community is very small, in which many of our factories have closed, and the job prospects are very minimal. The once thriving textile-based economy of the area is now non-existent. Many of our families take advantage of the free housing programs. And basically, what the city has done is tried to build up the school and rally around the school system. So this is going to be ACT Aspire data. I don't know if you can see, but my two categories that I've chosen to target is going to be math and English. And this is in the year 2015. The ACT Aspire percentages overall for math were 33% and for English 59%. In 2016, math was 60%, English was 71%, and 2017, math was 52% and English was 64%. Sixth grade data. So if you'll see on the chart, in 2015, all students were at 33%. However, African American students were at 0% testing, and poverty level students were at 18%. In 2016, we had all students were at 60%, but my two categories were going to be African Americans were at 50%, and poverty students were at 31%. And in 2017, for sixth grade data, overall students were at 52%. The African American students, we had 9 students or less not test, so a percentage didn't come up, and then poverty students were at 52%. The next chart is going to be the 7th grade data. With 7th grade, you had all students at, in 2015 for math, all students were at 12%. Poverty students were at 9%. African American students were at 11%. I've continued to go over poverty and African American students because those are the two groups that I've chosen to target. 2016, we have African American students are at 0% on the ACT Aspire, and poverty students are at 34%. And then in 2017, we have overall it's 53%, but African American students were at 30%, poverty students were at 42%. 8th grade data in math, we have all students were at 18% in 2015. African American students were at 0. Poverty were at 14%. In 2016, we had all students at 31%, with African American students being at 50% here, and then poverty students that we had fewer than 9 tested, so that their data didn't show up. And then in 2017, overall, students were at 51% in math. African American students, we had 9 students or fewer tests, so their data didn't show up. Poverty students were at 37%. So the target groups, based on those three charts that we just saw, dealing with math, the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, Piedmont Middle ACT Aspire data, our target demographic groups are going to be poverty, and African American students. Goals for overall diversity. First goal is to foster a total environment that respects differences and encourages inclusiveness. We have to hold high expectations for all students, regardless of where they come from and how they are raised. We have to promote an atmosphere where differences are celebrated and respected in school. We have to recruit and hire diverse faculty and staff members so that every student feels represented in the school community. We need to create a mission statement that is attainable for all students. Encourage faculty, staff, and students in the school to participate in school community activities involving diversity. Develop and implement activities and programs designed to increase and expand student diversity at all levels of the school. We also need to create mentors to provide leadership for diversity students and teach self-inner voice. So a lot of times when students come from poverty, they're used to casual language, they're used to informal language, they're used to just talking the way that they normally talk, and they don't know the formal register or the middle class register or the wealthy register. So we need to make sure that we teach that. Goal specific for poverty students, teach the hidden rules of the middle class. That was some of the things I just was talking about. Teach students to set and develop roles. Teach students formal registry language. Teach classroom rules so students understand the guidelines, and teach so students know that you care for them for who they are. Goals specific for African American students. Teachers structure their teaching to acknowledge different perspectives. Affirm and reinforce effort to increase motivation for African American students. Teach structured, rigorous, and culturally responsive curriculum and instruction. And make sure all African American students have academic, social, psychological, and cultural resources that they need to succeed. Some of these are activities to celebrate diversity. I won't go through all 5 of them, but one example would be identify a group of words and terms from various cultures that are commonly used. Consider promoting a word of the day through either bulletin boards, emails, posters. Be sure to add pronunciation tips. So make sure you have a word of the day every day in class when students come in. Diversity among faculty and staff. As a school system, we need to recruit for diversity as athletics would for student athletes, actively and purposefully. Basically, on a school team, you're going to play whoever is best at that role. And the same should be for teachers. They should hire the best teacher, regardless of the ethnic group. Encourage everyone in the community to take responsibility for making the community welcome to all. Improve the search and hiring process to enhance the potential for increasing the diversity of the faculty, and research methods to diversify staff, including internship possibilities. Now, actions to address African American students. Establish a positive connection with parents from the first day of class. Get to know the students and what he or she likes or dislikes. Create a relationship with a student other than just, teacher and student. Get to know that student. Motivate the student. Negative put downs create uncooperative shutdowns. So if you're always on that student, they are not going to welcome you and try to work with you. Model appropriate behavior. They're looking up to you. They see your actions, they have to be appropriate. Show through our actions what's considered appropriate conduct. that is going to be the end of the EFD 552 diversity plan.